Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Good evening, everybody. As usual, I'm borrowing 1 minute. I'm always borrowing. The day I go pay this 1 minute back, it no go funny. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Just give me. Caroline, I did not mind me. I dey always borrow 1 minute. I dey come. Nnazua. Sorry, I've just been busy with family. Sorry, I've been busy with family stuff. Good evening, everybody. Sorry, I've been so busy with family stuff. I told you we have bereavement in the family, so we've just been trying to like put things together. So yeah, and it's just been juggling between two things. So, how's everybody? Good evening, 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 good evening. How's everybody doing? How are we all doing? Hope we are all fine. Hey, thank you, Jerry. No mind us. We are well, we are fine. Life goes on. We are all pulling through. That's what life is. Yeah. So, how is everybody doing? How is everyone? How is everyone? How is everyone? Hey, you don't see the. When I don't see the. I know. When I don't see the documentary, I beg who know this pastor? This your pastor, this your Charlie pastor. It's a pastor. When you define pastor, actually is a prophet. This man wey do high like a robber is a prophet. Enyara yao. The guy dey una country now. He don't do orishirishi for UK. The guy don't japa go Maryland. They say na Maryland they stay. Investigation don't start loading D. They don't open doors again. Let me put a context to it. You see this brother pastor where you see, so this pastor sorry na prophet him be. Na fine babe, in short na Scottish babe. You know say Scottish babe they carry front, they carry back. Hey Rosie, how are you? Scottish babe, they carry front, they carry back. In short, one of the friends in the documentary happens to be someone I've worked with. So it was quite, yeah. Anyway, so, this is prophet where you see so. This prophet we do I like a kitty. Shebi, God no dey show prophet wife again. Now inside dating websites, government they go find wife. Now inside dating website, prophet they go find wife. He looks like his mother drank. Why? Make una share the wonder. This prophet that you're looking at, this man, we una dey see so. Enyara yao. They say the guy now in a country he dey now. The guy is settled in your country. The guy is settled in your country. Precisely, he dey Maryland. They say na Maryland. Na Maryland. Na there action dey shele. They say church plenty for Maryland. Na there this brother yao dey. HB YouTube, how are you? How is everybody? Make I drink water. Because today, this evening, apropos where I won't do, no be small something. Make I drink water. And this pastor, this prophet pastor, because oríṣiríṣi lójú títì. This prophet pastor, na dating website for the cash wife. Na dating website. When you dey hear dating website, na dating website e dey cash im wives, or rather e dey cash im kpekus, because na kpekus im dey cash, no be wives. If you are a parent, draw closer, because there are a lot of red flags that even Charmaine's parent ignored. People wey dey go church, me I always tell people, I don't tell people not to go to church. It's not my business what you do. My page is for adults. So I always say, as an adult, you make your own decision. Okay? Rosie, wetin you want make I do? As an adult, you will make up your mind what works for you. But the cocoa of the cocoa be say, as an adult, when you are making some decisions, if you no borrow yourself common brain, if you no borrow yourself common sense, if you put your emotions before your thinking faculty, you know wetin they call thinking faculty, your obligata, okay, your brain, if you put your brain for inside house, kasala go shele. And when kasala shele, you are responsible for your own decision. First and foremost, this lady you are looking at, her name is Charmaine Spears. Na Scottish woman. Na wara Scotland wey aya o, alright, aya, na our people na be that. You see this woman so, this woman, she had a troubled, she was actually from a very lovely home. Her families were good, lovely family and everything. However, somewhere along the line, she's always someone that has always craved relationship, which is nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong in craving relationship. She craved relationship. Aya, na our aya people. She craved relationship. And unfortunately for her, the first relationship she got into was an abusive relationship. She had a child from that relationship. It was abusive, and she ended up obviously in a refuge home and whatever. The women said, well, like domestic abuse support system. She was the life of the party. She was very, very energetic and everything. But somewhere along the line, she can't begin to go church. As it is among our blackie, na so it be among whitey. When they don't carry church put for head, you know, so when you enter religion, no be religion enter you. When you enter religion, when you use religion to drive your common sense. Hey, Shankweno, good evening. How are you? When you use religion to drive your when you replace your common sense with religion, hey, sometimes they end well. Maybe the case of this Auntie Charmaine, at this particular stage, no end well for them. Okay, so I'm just going to do a recap, but I was wondering, do you want me, for those, because I don't think the documentary is available to everyone globally, although a lot of Scottish accent today, so I don't know whether people go to understand what they talk. So I was wondering, do you want me to play the documentary as an audio, or do you just want me just to summarize it for you? Which would work? Please let me know. Do you want me to play the documentary as an audio, or do you want me to summarize the documentary? Please let me, if you want me to play the documentary as an audio, just type yes and I will play it. It's a 3-part documentary. It's actually 1 hour 15 minutes. 1 hour 30 minutes. We should play it as audio. Okay. We'll play it. It's a documentary. It's a BBC documentary. But the thing is, I don't think it's available globally, because it's okay. So first and foremost, let me summarize it. Let me summarize what it is, and then I will now play it. So you know what's this brother Eric, this man, his name na brother na Eric. make I get him written. The guy no get real name o. The guy get orishi name. When you dey hear pastor, when you dey hear prophet chameleon, the guy get plenty identity. When you dey find odaran, if you dey find odaran, this guy na odaran. The guy carry us ó gbẹ́sìn wá ká wa mọ́lé ní United Kingdom. The woman wey you see wey dey do loving gentle, loving tender, he carry am go Ghana. Na there he for yankee the guy, he for yankee the babe. They come say the babe say he smoke igbana he dey in system, he shaking. But the koko of the matter be say the moment wey him begin dey date the woman, na for dating website he for meet the woman. The woman, because she, again like I said, because of religion, auntie no go normal dating website, he go Christian dating website. Okay, there's nothing wrong. I mean, people meet themselves. There are different places you can meet your spouse or your partner, whichever one. There are people who have met themselves on dating website and it's worked for them. There's nothing wrong in meeting people on dating website. But you know what this guy they do? This pastor, prophet, Gbana. You see this pastor, this prophet, pastor. Because now so my Ghanaian people they call him pastor. You see this guy, when all in babe now dating website in they meet them. When he meets them for dating website, guess what he go do? Quick, he go la one lekpon. You know what they call la one lekpon? He go la one lekpon. Google Translator is your friend. He go la one lekpon straight. Na straight on la one lekpon level. He go la one lekpon. And you know say once Kerewa don't enter a relationship, you will not be thinking with your normal thinking faculty. Now your quikus and your pono you go use it to think. Now so the thing they be. So now so the guy he can't la one lekpon. So as he meet this auntie, you know say this auntie she looks so charming. And Scottish if you don't see Scottish people, you go know say they carry front, they carry back. Omo lomo nye. That be the case of our Scottish babes. So therefore, now the guy look and say, omo lo potoyi, omo lo totoyi. And they say once you taste a blackie, you no go ever leave them. Now be the case of our whitey sister. So now so he can't taste the porno, and you know this kind of people they go sabi do away. They go they do snake in monkey shadow in monkey snake. Nothing where they no go do finish. No miracle when they no go perform for inside the stadium. So he can't give auntie tender loving care. When he gave me tender loving care since I met the special lady. Hey, now so the guy go enter. He can't begin the give auntie the pouring or the pouring. He give am front, he give am back. Now he give am koba. Before we know what did happen, now auntie say she don't fall in love. We no be small something. From falling in love, before we know what did happen, auntie say she won't marry. Instead of her to carry the man come her father house, make it a see, make the helper use a eye of the elders to take check the husband. No be small something. No be small something. Instead of her to come meet the elders, to come meet Umunna, make we help and shake. Make we use Amadio Hate shake. Na lie you. She just face front. She go meet her pastor. All of you. This is a lesson for all of you. We be saying na pastor na they go meet. Una the date person na pastor. Instead of una to carry una self go meet una family. Na lie you. Now una pastor na will go meet. Your pastor. I've got this brother. I've got this sister. He's asking me out. He's out. He's asking me. You go meet una pastor. Pastor go come anoint her. And one thing where you have to understand be say, pastor versus pastor na awura wu. Pastor no go ever see in fellow pastor won't marry. Remember they be colleague. You know what they call colleague? They be colleague. They are partners in So therefore, he can't go meet him pastor. He say pastor. Now pastor say hi darling, hi hen. Now he say now so we they call for Scotland na hen we they call woman. Now he say no be hen as in hen HEN. Now he say I pastor. Now that one say hi hen. Now he say I've met a laddie. He's Bonnie. He's we bro. He's bro. And when Scottish people tell you say he bro, it means say the person say the man handsome. When he say the woman, when he say the lassie is Bonnie, is Barney, it means say the woman he fine. I dey teach una small Scottish grammar. Na so he can't see the lady, he can't see the man. I tell pastor, this is God's will. God has told me, and from day one wey she don enter dating website. You know say for dating website you go write your profile, you go write wetin you want, why you want wetin you want, he blah blah blah, he blow blow blow. Already he don already give low down of wetin him dey find. Na so he come carry himself. Pastor sef dey dating website. You see say God no dey show pastor anything. Pastor gangan fúnra rẹ̀ gan ìwọnú ayé lọ. So na so him come he sha carry himself. Now pastor come say I propose to you. Now he come propose in case come be like Daniel and Lisa who don watch 90 days fiancé. The recent, well, I don't know whether it's recent. I dey see their FYP. Daniel and Lisa, wey Daniel he proposed to Lisa. In case come be what I ordered versus what I got. Now be the case wey dey grand so. So he sha come turn himself to. Anyway, he sha propose to her. Now she come accept proposal because God don tell am say we make woman marry, and she sef she dey find marriage by fire by force. Their case come turn to any man cook pa ẹni tó máa pa. Na it come be the case wey dey grand. So therefore na so the guy shall continue. They shall continue before they say wetin dey happen. Meanwhile, you wan hear the truth? Among her family, nobody know say she get relationship. Everybody know say she no get relationship, but ashe she don already meet this guy, and she later she come find out say the guy na pastor, and as she find out, you don't say na first lady level na be that. No be small something. Na first lady. The guy get church for London. He get church for Edinburgh. As una dey call am for Nigeria, say na Edinburgh. He get church for Edinburgh. He get church for Glasgow. At a point, the guy himself come turn him in-law. As in the parents of this girl, the parents of this our Bonnie lassie, he turned them to taxi driver. When you hear, shebi you be down for driver, sure. I be down for driver, sure. Now he come turn them to. Say they even they borrow am money. No be small something, no. Come and so you see that provoke the Lord. You know, pass like wetin we dey see for there so. Now so the guy, miraculous. Now so before we come say Jack Robinson, no be small something, no. You know say the guy come begin to prophesy. When you hear prophesy. Now so the guy come dey prophesy. The guy they can't go this guy church. Now he talk about prosperity. You know, the Lord bless you as you're walking on the road. You're gonna find money. He blah blah blah. He blue. Now those ones say, hey, na so sure she be. Or dimma, we go be na year. Now all of us go the tatonsi. But the parents of the girl and the people around that, they still they borrow themselves brain. But while auntie don't fall in love, Pono don't enter quikus. No be small something. When you hear Pono has entered quikus. Meanwhile, as a pastor where he be, and as a prophet where he be, remember say you no suppose dey bench. Now you dey follow pastor. You think say your pastor na better people. Wallahi, your pastor dey bench. Now so the pastor come dey bench. They go bench, they go do orishi. Anyway, long and short of it, now so they come marry. When they come marry, now so they come marry. When they come marry, Auntie Charmaine come turn Kidon Purukwe. Auntie Charmaine come turn she come turn Mommy G Ho. When you hear Mommy G Ho, they call am first lady. Did they call am first lady? Did they call am first lady? What did they call? You know those names? What did they call Mommy Gio? No be small something. They come begin they call her Orishi name, and of course she dey enjoy the ray of the moment. In short, they even carry kente, give am, make I show una. See am. See am, they carry kente, see am, she wear kente. Our mommy Gio, you don't marry, you don't begin to wear kente. Mommy Gio, do you feed the cap and feed the sunshade? Who done? See our wedding picture. Now their wedding picture now be this. Now their wedding picture be this. You see wedding picture? Can you see wedding picture? You see how they look pepping? Auntie is so happy. Meanwhile, pastor, that one don't they calculate. The guy even wear Scottish kilts. The guy he calculate. For in head now they think you will wetin I go use it to do. Now PR I go use. Now you fall in love. To me now PR I see. You see their wedding. Until they happy, she just a smile like waiting. You know say he go don pepper and well. So she just a smile. He go dey smile. Meanwhile, brother Eric, Pastor Eric. Yes, so he wore cute. He actually wore a cute. Pastor they calculate for him brain. How they come? This pastor, just in case, for those of una could don't see am, the name of his church na Global Light Revival Ministry. Una dey feed the cap, dey feed the sunshine. You tell when Wales. Una don't see this church before Dublin. No of una wey dey Dublin. See am, Global Light Revival Ministry, All Nation Revival Center. You can see Prophet and Mrs. Eric Isaac. The guy get plenty name. The guy get plenty name. This one now one of his many. This one are many. Now one of his numerous names. So I dey come. That one na there. Another one. This na in church. This is another of his church. Victory, say and globe, na divine, na power chapel. He get am plenty. You see, he dey do prayer time. Odaran, when you dey hear Odaran, when you dey hear Akpaniyan he dey do prayer meeting. Shey you see am? You see am as a whole microphone. That is when they use a normal name. Now the guy don't change name. The guy has changed his name. His ministry has moved forward to the permanent site. This is now his new name. His new name now is Eric Isaac Akusi Botang. I tell you, say the guy get plenty. He name plenty. When you hear plenty, he name plenty. As we did, so we still dey find a real name. In case na you know that slogan, na the matter we still dey settle. Now be the meaning of a name now. The guy get plenty. He get plenty identity. When you dey find Camelo, and na so white they always dey find. You know they find Blackie. They say according to the aproko wey we hear, they say pastor prophet. They say he marry wife. They say he get wife for Ghana. They say he get Ghanaian wife wey he marry put for Ghana. So you can feed the cap and feed the sunshade. See their wedding. The woman now she dey happy say she don't marry. She no know say na only she na marry herself. Anyway, let us listen to the audio. Let us listen to the Kinong Porukwe. And they come. So, this woman in 2015, when I 1 year wetin happen, in 2015, after they don't marry, pastor don't plant church for Edinburgh. He don't plant church for Glasgow. He don't plant church for wetin be the name. You know, say they say na church planting. He plant for Glasgow, he plant for Edinburgh, he did Dublin, he target everywhere where black people dey. He target all of them. You say I dey funny. No be small something. The guy plant everywhere where black people dey. Now so the guy plant church. As he come plant the church, he finish. The guy get church for Dublin, he get church for Wales. Now so he carry church, he spread down one by one. So as we see the talk, all the church still dey exist too. Despite the fact say the guy na akpanyo. The cases in church still dey grow. As I dey follow una dey talk, the guy don move go America, the land of Yahoo. He don move go there. The guy right now na Maryland na the guy dey. Na there in God dey. He don marry another whitey. Obviously, maybe he go use that one take feed the cap and feed the sunshade. The guy come carry. So this woman, this him wife, Charmaine, the woman follow and go Ghana. Whether she follow and go, whether na him say make she follow and go. Anyway, they shall go Ghana. From Ghana, where the woman come go Ghana, she get belle, 3 months old belle. And she can't go Ghana. No be small something, no. As she go Ghana, he said they'd make you the pastor, prophet Eric. He say he make you do. He say as they come make do. You know what say they come make do? When man and woman do porno and kwekus. He say they make do. Say after they don't make do, now they come see, say, the guy come say they go Accra. Now Accra he say they go. Before we know what they happen, they find him wife. Him wife he don't pay. They say na only towel na the wife wrap for body. Say she don't pay. Now they come they ask, what happened? What is this? Ikinikon. Anyway, the longer short of the story be say, no be small something. Pastor don't get alibi. They charge am say he be. They charge am say he kpai person. And Ghanaian police, I hail una. No be small something. Ghanaian police, wallahi, when you define cover up, Ghanaian police dey cover up. I go play the documentary. All of us go hear am together. Yes, so the wife ukpai. They say the wife ukpai. When they come ask brother question, you know, say police go ask am question. Say, what happened? What happened? Now he say, he say she say she won't buy. Say she dey use in belle dey threaten am. He say she dey use heroin. He say na wetin she dey use be that. Meanwhile, her family member say na lie, say she no dey use. Yes, her older brother was a user, but no be she. But Ghanaian police and pathologists, when they check the body of the kpai woman, they say they find heroin. No be small something. As I dey follow you dey talk till today, nobody don shalaye where heroin dey. When they come carry her remaining body come Scotland, they test her hair. You know, say they go do check before they go bury her hair. They come check. Wallahi, they no see any arrow for anywhere. They no see anything. No be small something. Anyway, make you no be say na me just dey talk my own dey go. Make una hear am by yourself. Audio credit to BBC. This is a fair use access in order for us to learn. All you women, all you men, and parents particularly, when you be say your pikin, you go say, my pikin don grow. Sherry, if una no draw una pikin here, if una no draw una pikin here, me no be say na wetin una no expect, na it go happen. This guy now, the woman don kpai. From all indication, na him kpai the woman, but of course, law clear am because the guy get long leg. Him leg, you know, say all these men of God, you know, say their leg dey long way. They have the system all wrapped around their finger. The guy don't clean. They don't wash and clean, and of course they don't charge him. Wetin anybody won't do. The guy don't work out free. No be small something. He don't work out free. As I dey follow you dey talk, the guy dey the land of Yahoo. He don't open church for there, and of course, our customer dada ni. people go plenty for in church. She said the guy said they do revival up and down for America. They say he don't plan to reach this church too for America. Anyway, let us listen to it's in 3 parts, but it's very interesting. I actually find it very, very interesting to listen to. There's a lot of lesson. As a female, there's a lot of lesson. As a male, there's a lot of lesson. As parents, there's a lot of lessons. Particularly, you see, these single ladies like myself, don't be desperate. Okay? Don't be desperate. See, if you're going to have a relationship, it will come natural for you. Don't let anybody put spring on your leg. And you self, no put spring for your own leg. And you see, when you are dating someone, and the first thing we wanna do be say, make una dey check una kpon and una quikus. Wallahi, you no fit think straight. That is the truth. You cannot think straight. Anyway, let's listen, and you will see how vulnerable she made herself. You will see how vulnerable this lady made herself. But let's all listen to the documentary together. I'm not going to interject. Let us listen together, and I hope we can all learn from it. For those of you in the UK, the documentary is called CHARMAIN and the Prophet. It's on BBC. It's on BBC iPlayer. I don't think they allow it to be played outside the UK. Hence the reason, but there's a lot of lessons here for people to learn. That's why I've decided to talk about it. Anyway, let's listen. So if you're in the UK, you want to watch it, it's still on. It's on BBC iPlayer. It's called CHARMAIN and the Prophet.
I just couldn't make any sense of it. Like, how she'd be dead? Like, she's having a baby. She just got married.
No father should have to tell his son his mum's dead.
I remember just screaming down the phone because I was like, how? What happened,
When I opened, the woman have died inside a bath. I said, what? Who killed this woman?
She said, I will abort your child in my womb or kill myself.
Just lies after lies after lies.
We have the backing of heaven. And tonight, if there is anything the enemy has done, vengeance is coming from heaven on your behalf.
He called himself a prophet. He didn't deserve a fraction of the praise he got in that church.
Well, how's it going? All right, buddy. How are you? Good to see you. I'm meeting Linda Spears to talk about her daughter, Charmaine.
You can't beat a photo album, mate. It's so much better than having it on your phone. It's a good photo.
That was Christmas Day, actually. That's her when she was a baby. It's 4 generations. My granddad, my mum, me, and Charmaine. She was...
Yes, so mother, the
like 3 months old then. A very, very quiet child. Never regret when you went into her room to get her out of her cot. She would lie on her stomach and push her hands up and give you a big smile. That was Charmaine every morning. She was a fantastic child. Everybody loved her.
Charmaine grew up in Arbroath, a small fishing town on the east coast of Scotland. Her mum was a cleaner, her dad, Peter, a plumber.
She had loads and loads of pals, too many for me to remember. When she turned 18, her pals would come in the house and they'd all go up to Charmaine's bedroom. And you'd hear laughing and joking and there'd be music playing.
Charmaine is at the heart of this story. To understand it, I'm speaking to those who knew her best. How's it like being
back in a place like this where, you know, just you and Charmaine, different time in life.
It's special memories. Yeah. Happier times. Yeah. So Charmaine and I met at the Arbroath High School. She was a year above me, and we just clicked immediately.
And what do you remember about her back then?
She was absolutely stunning. Charmaine, I would say, was like a social butterfly. Like, people just gravitated towards her. She just had that aura about her. Her smile, just her personality. Yep. She was just one of those people.
At 19, Charmaine moved to Glasgow and got a job in a wine bar. Lindsay soon followed.
So I ended up working with Charmaine after working shifts at my other job as a nurse. Charmaine, she would know all the clientele that came in because they had regulars. A lot of them were footballers and business people, and yeah, we had a great time.
Looking for love, Charmaine had several relationships, some volatile. She briefly ended up in a women's refuge. Back home, her family was also facing tough times.
There's 6 years between Charmaine and her oldest brother.
She lost a brother in a car crash. He was 21. Then her youngest brother became addicted to heroin.
She got her brother through rehab because she could see what it was doing to him. She could see the devastation it caused.
Charmaine then moved to Swansea to study photojournalism. After a string of failed relationships, in 2007, she had a baby boy, Isaac. As a single mum, Charmaine struggled with depression. That's when she found religion. And that's where this story really begins.
So I met Charmaine at the Evangelical Church in Swansea. So we had a nice chat and just connected. I had a young child and she also had a young son. So yeah, we connected on many levels and yeah, sort of felt like became instant friends.
Charmaine joined the newly founded Liberty Church. It's a Pentecostal church, part of one of the fastest growing Christian movements in the world.
Liberty Church was just starting, so it was a very small group of people, and it was really nice because they would have a prayer meeting on a Tuesday, and everyone would, cook together for lunch and have lunch together, and it just brought this sense of family and belonging.
There was quite a circle of women, all different backgrounds. None of us were the same. And we all became very close because we all had one person in common with Jesus, and we all love Jesus.
Did the church mean a lot to her? Did she get a lot out of Liberty Church?
I think it was her life. And, it certainly was for me at the time as well, like a point of light. It's all based on this idea of love and togetherness and community. So I think it meant all of those things for Charmaine.
In faith, she appeared to find a level of happiness that had been missing from her life. She raised her son Isaac in that loving environment.
She'd always put herself after people, like her friends and her family. She did everything for me, she often went without, everyone in the church loved her. She was quite a bubbly character, she definitely meant a lot to a lot of people. That's definitely apparent,
Charmaine's life seemed settled, but there was something missing.
She was looking for a husband. This is almost like this, normal single Christian girl thing. She was actively looking for a Christian man,
She just had enough, really, of normal men. She just wanted, that man of God. She wanted, what was promised for her. So she was on a dating website for Christians. Charmaine said, I've met someone, a famous preacher.
UK comes man anointed
to bring revival in this end time.
I remember that she was very excited. She had gone on this date. So I was like, with whom, you know? And she's like, oh no, I met this guy, you know, it all happened so quickly.
Introducing in the power and might of the Holy Spirit at this time of revival, Prophet Eric Isaiah.
The founder and head pastor of Global Light Revival Church, Eric Isaiah.
I believe that every single person watching this program is going to encounter the supernatural power of God.
Originally from Ghana, he appeared regularly on Christian television channels.
And you will never be disappointed in life. Amen. There is something that God wants to do, and I believe that you are a partaker of what God wants to do.
He also preached at churches across the UK.
There is going to be an instant miracle. And I believe that God is saying to me that, son, there is going to be a supernatural invention, the prophetic empowerment in my churches.
We were quite interested in a prophetic and healing ministry, and so that's why we went along.
Margaret and Alan Ramsey first met Eric at a Christian conference in Edinburgh.
And so the first time we went there, we encountered a African guy, liked to wear extremely expensive suits, and that was our first encounter with Eric.
Eric Isaiah, also known as Eric Adusa, isn't just a pastor, he's a prophet.
Hallelujah.
In Pentecostalism, it is believed that some people have spiritual gifts such as healing,
Lord, I command that thyroid in the name of Jesus,
and speaking in tongues.
Lift your hands and pray.
Prophets are believed to receive and share divine revelation directly from God. They're a huge part of the Pentecostal faith, particularly in West Africa.
I command every barrier in front of you, break.
You do see a lot of these religious leaders, of whom there are hundreds, who model themselves quite a lot on American-style evangelism. They're kind of intermediaries between the humble, ordinary person and God above. And they have a very powerful role within their communities, certainly, but also in wider society.
Because of the testimony.
This form of charismatic preaching is what Eric brought to churches in the UK.
People go to these kind of meetings because they like to hear encouraging words from God, from the preacher, but also a healing ministry, the laying on of hands for physical healing, spiritual healing, all that sort of stuff. On the side of the stage, he was actually quite a quiet guy, quite timid, but once he started preaching, he was very, very charismatic.
He seemed a very godly man.
Yeah, he definitely had something about him, you know.
Eric was expanding his ministry, founding a new church in Edinburgh. He began holding services in a hotel meeting room.
When he came to Edinburgh, it was myself, Margaret, that kind of supported Eric, whether it was with transport or accommodation or whatever. We supported him in that way.
Yeah.
You know,
more practical things.
Yeah,
we supported him in, really, didn't we?
Eric had churches in Edinburgh, Manchester and Dublin. His biggest was in London, and Charmaine was attracted to his status.
Eric's church is quite big. It was quite big, the one he had in London. So she seemed quite, I'm very excited about it.
The relationship moved quickly. They first met in the spring of 2014. By summer, they were engaged.
I heard him say that once he had a wife, God had said that his ministry would take off.
His ministry would flourish. I think for the position he probably did think that he had to have a wife for his ministry. I think that the way he spoke to me was that he had fallen for her.
Charmaine wanted approval for the marriage from her church's head pastor, Mark Ritchie.
The Lord bless you and keep you.
Charmaine looked at Mark as if he was a father to her. That's how our pastor was, like a father. He said,
Hello, Diaspora Diva.
If Mark says now, yes, he's the right one, that's it, I'm going to go with it.
Instead of her to go to her parents, now
Mark
pastor should go
Ritchie
meet.
met the couple with Eric's spiritual father, a religious mentor who flew in from Ghana.
It seemed a bit of a strange way to go about it, that she had to go formally to the pastors, as opposed to her parents, which would be the traditional thing, wouldn't it?
That's not a practice that you'd seen in the church before, where they were, the person was being
Because the
vetted.
Scots are not really into Christianity.
Obviously, it went well because, Charmaine was given in marriage.
Mark Ritchie told us he suggested the couple wait a year, but they wanted to marry much sooner.
She phoned me up to say that she was getting married. I said, Charmaine, I didn't even know you had a boyfriend. I said, does he work? That was the main thing. I said, does he work? She says, yes. She says, he's quite well known. He's quite famous. So what does he do? She says, he's a pastor. And my mouth just went home, flew home. I said, a pastor?
The next stop is Bethnal Green.
Once engaged, Charmaine spent more time at Eric's church, at that point held here in London. She'd gone from seeing her friends almost daily to barely seeing them at all.
Somebody goes into a relationship and they disappear from your life. That's just a normal thing that happens. And then you see more of them again with their new partner. So that didn't really happen like that, because we just saw less of Charmaine, and then the next thing, it was the wedding that was going to happen.
Sorry, Diaspora Diva is asking what is the background to this story. So this pastor they are looking at, the allegation is that he pied his wife, this white woman that you're looking at. So there's a documentary, the woman pied in 2015. There is till date. The pie is unexplainable. He claimed she owned her life herself. But the story that he told, the story no add up. So there's a BBC investigation. So an investigative journalist is now revisiting the whole story again. And as I follow you, they talk Diaspora Diva. The Yeye man, he don't dey Kidon Porukwe. He dey America right now. Yeah, he's on BBC, but I don't think people outside can watch it, because I was trying to get someone to watch it earlier, and the person said they can't access it. So that was why I actually did a video. That's why I'm actually doing a show on it. So let's continue.
Nobody in our circle of friends really knew who she was going to marry. And I think that was my main concern, is that we didn't know who she was going to marry.
Concerned that things were going too fast, Tia wanted to know...
Sorry, she pied in Ghana, but they actually met here in Scotland. They met in Swans. They met online. They met on dating website, on a Christian dating website. That was where they met, and before you knew what was happening, they rushed into marriage.
More about Charmaine's fiancé. She travelled to Eric's church in London to try and meet him in person.
We didn't stay till the end of the service. It was not a good experience. There was a visiting preacher that I remember who was almost auctioning off his jacket that he said carried the anointing of his prophetic mantle. So these are all sort of the...
So let me answer the question. So the man, Pastor Eric or Prophet Eric, is originally from Ghana. So he has his church in Ghana and in the UK and now in America. But the lady is originally from Scotland. So they met on a dating website. He has churches in the UK. So they met on a dating website, and it's quite... they said he's big, but I don't know him, to be honest. Well, I can't know everybody anyway. But apparently he is on Christian channels preaching and everything. So they met. And while they met, she was already a Christian, quote and unquote. And she was wanting to be married, because that's what Christian girls do. Or Christian women, that's what they do. Okay? So they met. Obviously, they got married. Instead of her to reach out to her parents and speak to her parents about her relationship, she chose to speak to her spiritual father in the church that she was going to. So the The spiritual father kind of approved the relationship, but advised that they wait for a year. But of course, they went away. They did not follow his advice, and they literally got married. So let's continue.
This is the sort of type of language, but it felt like it was a type of auction, and this jacket will go to the highest bidder. I was very worried and very upset, and didn't really know what exactly to do.
Tia spoke to Charmaine about how fast the relationship was progressing. Charmaine confessed that she had some concerns too. Tia suggested she seek spiritual advice. They had a video call with another prophet, Vaughn Hutchinson.
They had explained that she'd fallen in love with this guy. From the story that was told to me, I was naturally suspicious by way of experience because of what was explained to me, who he was, who he'd put himself forward as.
On the call, Charmaine said she was stressed about the relationship and Eric had anger issues.
I'm a man of God, of Pentecostal persuasion. We believe in the gifts of the Spirit. And, we hear from God. And I began to get a very serious check in my spirit from the Lord that you're making a mistake. I believe you need to get out of this.
Hold on. Nikki, you know the church? Nikki said the church used to be in Tottenham North. Make we continue.
And she told me, well, he had already taken her passport. It was like I experienced prophecy.
Pastor collects passport. The pastor, he collect passport of him fiancé. Person he never marry, he collect her passport come for her hand. You see the depth of control.
That this came, I told her, I said, run. Your life's in danger. Get your passport back. If you can't confront the guy, phone the police to get your passport back, but get out. And I told her, I'll never forget it. I said to her, your life is in danger.
After the call, Charmaine was upset.
She used the word, it's like a runaway train, I think. And she doesn't know how to slow it down. And I said, well, I will be your friend that will try and help you slow it down.
Owen Rennie was married to Tia at the time. He was also close with Charmaine.
She was just happy, cheerful woman. But you could see an element of sadness in her, we all got that.
He was on the call that night too. He says Charmaine told them she didn't want to be alone.
Let's go on a camping trip for the weekend. Let's just take you and Isaac and just get away, just so you can get your mind at ease, set yourself at ease, and just have some space to breathe. We chucked everybody in the car and off we went.
They travelled to a campsite in rural Wales, hundreds of miles away from Eric's church.
We're just having a nice time. Charmaine was back to her bubbly self again. Next minute, I see Charmaine texting. I see her texting over there. Then I see her texting over there. And you just know. I said, were you messaging Eric? She goes, yeah. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that, knowing what you know? Well, what can you do? She's made that decision. She's an adult.
But you were concerned about
it? Oh, big time. Absolutely.
Then a car pulled up. It was Eric, there to collect Charmaine.
I remember he came in his car with his white suit, and he was nice, and he was hospitable, and he was charming, but I was not happy. There was just a drop in my heart. We were trying to get her away, trying to break her away from all of this, trying to get her to see the light that this isn't right, but she chose actively that day to jump into a car with Eric and gone.
That night, Charmaine...
Somebody said, I remember going to his church over a decade ago. Big. I remember correctly, his Scottish wife died with pregnancy, and she's the second wife to have died. Yes, you are so correct. Yeah, the guy is walking around free.
Travelled with Eric from Wales back to his church in London, arriving at 2 a.m.
I feel that's the moment we lost her. When she left me, I knew I'd lost my friend. And she did cut me off out of her life after that as well.
Tia and Owen say they felt ostracised at Liberty Church. Their friends, they say, became distant. The wedding was to go ahead as planned.
It was happening so fast. It was just happening. Like we wanted her to be happy. She said this is what she wanted. So we went along with it, really.
Charmaine basically organized everything by herself, more or less. She worked so hard on her wedding, you know, and it was the church was beautiful, the reception was beautiful.
In late September 2014, just 6 months after first meeting, Charmaine and Eric were married.
The pastor was very, very good. It was a great service. Charmaine was happy. She was just full of joys.
Charmaine, a single mum from Arbroath, was now the wife of a prophet.
They don't just call the pastor's wife. She's either called First Lady or Mama. So just even with the word First Lady, you can see the kind of importance.
The lady died in Ghana is quite smart. He made sure that the offense was not committed on the soil of abroad. He made sure it was in Ghana where he could cover up. You will hear, just let's keep following. You would pick up the full gist
That they give to that role. She went from just a normal, ordinary person, and suddenly she was this celebrity.
Charmaine appeared to embrace this newfound role. She moved with Isaac to London to live in Eric's church. Her friends and family were concerned at how things started to change.
Because they're husband and wife now, like he put it on to her that everything had to be new, that everything had to be like nothing from the past, basically.
Oh, darn.
One night I was at home, must have been, maybe 9 o'clock, maybe even later, and I heard this knock on my door, and there was Charmaine standing at my door. She was with one of Eric's people. So I was like, Charmaine, what's going on, you know? So I go, I can't really talk right now. And she was like, Maronisa, I've got to give you these things. Can you keep these and can you have these things? You know, she had a toy chest with Isaac's old toys. You know, she just left all this stuff at my house. We didn't have much of a conversation. I said she did look very distraught. These were things that were really, really important to her.
Maronisa never saw her friend again. Charmaine was now living in Eric's world, the world of the prophet.
Really didn't feel like a church. You know, your traditional, quite quiet, boring church. You'd have everyone, you know, singing, you know, praising him, like.
Try your abilities, with your energy, with your wisdom, with your knowledge, nothing happens. You're going to say, if you allow me to do what I want to do in your life, you're going to see my glory.
They adored him. You know, he's always stood up on the stage, you know, shouting. It was less of a religion, more of a theme park.
Margaret and Alan travelled to London for a service to celebrate the newlyweds at Eric's church. What they saw wasn't the ministry they thought they were part of.
Every message was a message of prosperity.
What, Shirley?
Give to receive, give to be blessed. I just watched these people just walking up to the altar and putting wads and notes down on this wooden stage. It didn't stand with.
It didn't stand with us, really, did it? It was just wrong. In our eyes, it was wrong.
You know.
The documentary is on BBC.
So we made the decision to do it. We're not getting involved in the ministry anymore.
Well, every gathering in the church, there'd be a basket handed around to everyone. They'd be 10, 20 pound notes, sometimes even 50 pound notes. By the end of the service, it would just be full. There's always something wrong with the church as well. There's always a leak. It always needed something fixed. The church was never fixed.
Charmaine began travelling the UK, preaching at churches with Eric. By taking her place by the prophet's side, she all but disappeared from her friends' lives.
I think because she did love God, and she thought, like, this is what God wants for me to do. I think she was going with what God wanted.
A few months into the marriage, Charmaine travelled back home to see her family. Eric wasn't with her.
He says he was far too busy with his church in London, I presume it would be. The afternoon, when she was texting him to say that she had arrived all right, that she discovered that he was in Edinburgh, staying in a hotel.
Linda says Eric was hosting a female choir from his church, something he hadn't told Charmaine. Charmaine went to Edinburgh to find out what Eric was doing. Later that evening, they both returned.
He stood at the corner of the kitchen door, and Peter was making the dinner, and he says, come in, Eric. He says, come in to the living room. No, I'm too busy. I have to get back to see to the girls. He had 2 phones ringing at the same time. He said, I have to see to these. And he walked out the door, walked away in his car. Charmaine's face was tripping her, absolutely tripping her. And she just stormed up the stairs. And I says, Peter, she's not happy. I says, she's not a happy person at all.
Lindsay had barely spoken to Charmaine since she met Eric. She wasn't invited to the wedding and knew almost nothing about the prophet she had married.
He'd quite obviously ostracised her from a lot of our friends and family network. I just didn't realise how deep she was in and probably how she was starting to feel.
In early March 2015, Lindsay messaged her friend. Charmaine replied,
Hello, sweetie. I'm in Ghana, visiting my hubby's family.
Charmaine said she was visiting orphanages and helping trafficked women. Then she told Lindsay some big news.
By the way, I'm 3 months pregnant. Baby on the way.
Charmaine said she was excited but nervous about giving birth. A few weeks later, Lindsay texted again. This time, no reply.
Because Prophet, they collect phone for her hand.
I've tried phoning her and phoning, and her phone was always dead. And I says to her dad, I says, I don't understand how Charmaine's no phoning or texting. He says, I'm beginning to worry, really worry. I woke up on the Monday morning, and my phone was ringing. And of course I answered it, thinking it was Charmaine, but it wasn't. It was someone from Ghana. Charmaine is gone. And I asked him, what do you mean she's gone? Where's she gone to? And he says, she's just gone.
This is the beginning. The story is now becoming interesting.
Next time on Charmaine and the Prophet, we travel to Ghana to try and find out how Charmaine died.
So, I said that, what? Hold on. He said that what, Bibawu? Now it's becoming interesting, so pay attention now.
I woke up and my phone was ringing. It was someone from Ghana. Charmaine is gone. He says she's just gone.
I am Eric, the husband of Charmaine Spears. My wife decided to come to Ghana for a holiday, and looking at the condition of her pregnancy, I tried to stop her many times. Please, help me find out.
Ah.
I am really not feeling very well now.
They say the prophet can lie.
It's been more than 10 years since Charmaine died. Her death remains a mystery. I'm heading to Ghana in search of the truth about what happened with Charmaine and the prophet. Accra. Ghana's capital is a bustling city. It's one of the biggest in West Africa. It sits on the southern coast of this largely Christian country. Faith is an ever-present part of daily life here.
There have been so many billboards and roadside signs of different pastors and churches and prophets that I've genuinely lost count. So you can see it's just such a huge part of the community and culture out here.
That's what they do for Africa.
Eric Adusa was born into this culture. He started preaching here as a teenager. It's where he and Charmaine travelled to in 2015. To try and understand what happened to her, I'm working with one of Africa's most celebrated investigative journalists. Anas Aremeyaw Anas hides his identity behind his trademark mask. Anonymity, he says, is his secret weapon. So that's why I'm meeting him on a rooftop at one of his hideouts in Accra.
When I first got wind of the story, I'm like, no, there is something definitely wrong.
We asked Anas and his team to dig into what happened. They managed to track down someone who was there the night Charmaine was last seen alive. Someone we're calling Edward.
Now, Edward, for me, is the star character for this investigation. He was there when the incident happened. And guess what? Somebody stopped him from talking.
Anas says Edward is one of several people who appear to have been warned not to speak to us.
There's some caginess about it. You who is trying to uncover it is causing a lot of discomfort. So I want to advise that you are careful in every step that you take in this investigation.
The word of Pastor Mafias.
Despite Anas's warning, we need to uncover what we can during our limited time in Ghana. We start with what Eric Adusa told the police here.
Pay attention to what he tell police.
Eric Isaiah Adusa wish to make this statement.
We have access to police files from the investigation into Charmaine's death. We have reconstructed Eric Adusa's statements to police using actors. 3 days after her body was found, Eric gave his account of what happened.
Tendered in evidence.
Eric told police the couple spent 24 hours together at a hotel in the city of Koforidua. They spent the day at the pool and went out for food and returned in the early evening.
I slept because I was tired after the swimming and got up, I think, around 10 p.m. So we had a nice time together.
Eric told police he left the hotel in the middle of the night to attend a meeting before flying back to the UK. Charmaine, he said, had extended her trip and was staying at the hotel alone.
She said she is not going with me, so she just hugged me. We held hands and kissed, and then we said goodbye. I got to the receptionist. I asked them, please, look after my wife for me.
2 days later, Charmaine was found dead in the bathtub of room 112. She had nothing but a towel wrapped round her. The TV still on. Eric was already back in the UK.
That was his alibi.
Shortly after giving his statements, Ghanaian police charged Eric Adusa with murder. He was held in jail for months awaiting trial. Then, he was released and faced no further action.
As per say, he get good father.
We want to speak to the police to ask them about their investigation, to find out why Eric was a suspect and why the case against him was dropped.
Hello. For homicide unit, I'm from BBC. So, it's been weeks trying to get a hold of someone in Ghana. Loads of calls, loads of emails, got nothing. And then just getting in front of people there, it looks like an interview might happen. First it was the director of the homicide unit who said he would speak, but you need permission from his boss. And he's going to have a think about it and we'll find it on Monday. So it's a lot better than it was when we were back in Scotland, just endlessly trying numbers and emails. So we'll see what happens.
While we wait for the police to respond, we get a break. The hotel worker we're calling Edward has decided to talk.
I just don't want to be on camera.
He says he's worried because a former colleague from the hotel warned him not to speak to us.
My wife doesn't even know what I'm doing.
Edward was working night shift at the hotel on the 17th of March, the night Eric left and Charmaine was last seen alive. He says in the early evening, the couple returned from dinner and Eric spoke to him at reception.
He said he need to catch a flight, so around 1 p.m. he will be traveling to Accra. Someone will come and pick him up. He'll be traveling, so that was the information he gave us. Immediately, the wife responded, "Yes, my husband will travel to Accra. We don't want any disturbances. Whatever that we need, we'll give you a call."
Then Edward says, later that night, two tall men went with Eric to the couple's room, 112.
And I remember one of the guys was also holding a briefcase. But we became suspicious because looking at their appearance, I mean, my other colleague told me, this real, like, how can this man at this time bring, these two tall men? But since the man was with them, I mean, we couldn't question.
Edward says the men remained in the room for up to an hour. He says they helped Eric pack the car before he returned to the room alone. Around 1 a.m, he says, Eric left.
He told us he's traveling, so we should take care of the wife. And we asked, is she okay? And he said yes. We shouldn't call her. When he needs something, she will rather call.
So he said, do not disturb my wife?
Yes, we shouldn't disturb. We shouldn't call to disturb.
When did you last see her?
You see the way you do alibi.
7, 8 that way.
So that would have been the 17th of March, around about 7 p.m. evening time.
Yes.
Is the last time you see or hear?
Yes.
Just keep paying attention.
You
will pick the controversies.
To truly understand both Eric and Edward's accounts, we need to see the hotel for ourselves. The MacDick Royal Plaza Hotel, the place Charmaine died, in room 112. We've booked an identical room to the one they shared.
You come into the main door. Whether you're going to the rooms on this side of the hotel or the other, you have to go by reception. So everyone that came and went that night, it is quite easy to see which way they're going.
Hotel staff told police 3 men visited the hotel room late that night. These men were Eric's church companions. They told police they were in there praying with the couple.
She's found in the bathtub, and she, from the reports we've seen, is naked with a towel wrapped around her.
One of Eric's companions told police while he was in the room, Charmaine was, quote, vibrant and all kicking and moving up and down. Another only confirmed Charmaine was there. The third was seemingly never tracked down by police. Eric told police he was sleeping and then got up to spend time with Charmaine. There's no mention of these men in his police statements. And the police never seemed to ask him about the men in the room that night.
I mean, this hotel and this hotel room looks like it hasn't changed or been decorated in a different way in 10 years. So we can get a real sense of, what it was like.
Eric told police he left in the middle of the night to meet a pastor at 6 a.m. in Accra. It appears the police never spoke to this man to test Eric's alibi. We tracked the pastor down and he did not corroborate Eric's claim. We'd been filming in the hotel for about an hour. Then the phone rang. Reception wanted our passports, which they didn't ask for at check-in. Then a car pulled up outside and two men jumped out.
The moment they know they were
warned
investigating.
us to be careful, so we packed our camera away, but I kept the mic rolling as we left.
Let's go. Why? The car coming, please. Just no, wait there. Is everything okay? No. But we can go and get our passports. That's fine. No. He'll not let you out. They wanted the car inside. Go, quick.
See, they were chasing them. The moment they found out they were investigators, they were investigative journalists.
So we're back in Accra. After a bit of a hairy situation, they wanted us to stay in the hotel. They wanted our passports. I suspect the police were on the way because the manager was on the phone. The security wanted us to stay. So it's quite good that we're back.
Hotel management later told us Ghanaian law requires foreign nationals to present a valid passport upon check-in. They said security staff are stationed to ensure the safety of guests and property, and at the time in question, management only sought clarification regarding the sudden departure of the occupants.
And yet you guys could not investigate a murder case.
We're back in Koforidua in Ghana's eastern region. It's a small city a few hours north of Accra. Charmaine spent a lot of the trip here, living with the family of a local pastor. Bishop Yaadu is the head of House of Prayer Church International. He is also Eric's spiritual father, a sort of religious mentor. The man who agreed the couple's marriage with Charmaine's pastor in Swansea. We turned up after one of his sermons to ask him what he remembers.
We want to speak to people who knew Charmaine and who knew Eric Adusa, knew his spiritual father.
At first, there's some confusion. The bishop doesn't recognise the names Charmaine or Eric. He knows Eric's face, but seems to know him by a different name, Adubrifo. Who's Adubrifo?
This man.
He's
my son, yeah. Then this is the one that died, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is the one that died.
Yes.
Yeah, he died.
Yeah, she died in March 2015.
Yes, I remember very well. This woman came to me. He came to my house. Hey, she was very happy.
Oh, yeah.
She was very, very, very happy.
Yes.
Because I was giving her Ghana chocolate. I was giving her so many things, eating good food.
Although he says Charmaine was enjoying his hospitality, he also says she was struggling being pregnant and alone as her husband preached across Ghana.
I saw from the spiritually that this woman can kill herself or something. That was what I saw.
You said you sensed that?
I sensed that. So I told them that stop the going around and pray for your wife. Enter into prayer. But young boy who have come from abroad and is preaching and people are he's happy. So he didn't take it serious.
Charmaine eventually left the bishop's home to stay at the Macdick Royal Plaza Hotel with Eric. A few days later, Bishop Yaadu says he received a call to go to room 112.
In a few minutes for me to go, I had some bad odor. So I What is happening there? When I opened, the woman have died inside a bath. So I said, what? Who killed this woman? I mean, that's what I felt, that she had been killed. Because this woman was there strong, everything is nice. The husband left her there in the hotel. Why should she die? How?
The bishop called Eric in the UK and told him to come back to Ghana.
When he came here, and I took him to, the police people, they arrested him. So his arrest, I didn't understand. I didn't like it. Eric was not there when the woman died. Then after that, police invited me and he said that, did I think my son will kill them? I said, no. My son will not do that. The wife died when Edubrifo is in abroad, in London. What I've said is what I've said. I believe there is a mystery that what happened at the hotel.
Okay, right. Well, we know you're very busy, so we'll leave. But thank you so much for your time.
Okay, thank you. Your name again?
Miles Bonner. We left the bishop with more questions than answers. He says Charmaine was happy in Ghana, but also sensed she was troubled by being left alone by Eric, or as the bishop calls him, his son, Edubrifo. Eric told police his wife was more than troubled. The Charmaine he describes was a woman spiralling. The trip to Ghana, he told police, was all Charmaine's idea. According to him, she threatened to harm their unborn child if he didn't allow it.
She insisted of going to Ghana, even without me. And if I don't let her, she will abort my baby because I carry your baby in my womb. That is what she was saying always.
Eric told police Charmaine made repeated threats to harm herself. In his view, much of the trip was dictated by these threats.
She told me she wanted to go to Koforido at that same time. And I said she should wait because I was going to Tema to pray for people. Then she said, I will abort your child in my womb or kill myself if you don't let me.
Eric claimed Charmaine made threats to kill herself throughout their relationship, that she had even attempted suicide before they met. Eric also told police Charmaine had confessed to him that she and her entire family had a history of abusing drugs.
She started telling me not to be ashamed of her family because they all do drugs. So that when I go to the family, I should not say anything because she used to do it also. I told her maybe God wants us to restore the family. Honestly, when we got to the house, it was as she said.
Eric's statements paint Charmaine as deeply troubled and suicidal. They give a seemingly plausible explanation of what happened. Charmaine is a former drug addict who took her own life. So where's the evidence to back up Eric Adusa's claims about Charmaine? I'm at Corlebu Teaching Hospital.
This is one of the bigger hospitals, isn't it? It's big, biggest in Ghana.
I'm here to meet Dr. Afua Abrahams, one of the country's leading pathologists.
Hello, how's it going?
6 days after Charmaine was found, she performed the autopsy.
So there was no mark of violence or trauma on the body. So if there was a sign of struggle, then, it wasn't obvious.
And can you remember what your diagnosis was on this case?
Yes. I recall very vividly that I was surprised actually to find that there was heroin. Actually a metabolite of heroin in her blood and in her liver samples, which I sent for analysis.
Charmaine's likely cause of death was a heroin overdose. How common are heroin overdoses in Ghana?
My own personal experience, they are not that common. They are not. So usually it's cocaine or
so if
some
it's not
other
that
thing.
common, how did
Heroin
she end up
usually
in our
not.
system?
The thing that we are struggling to compute, understand is how a woman, a tourist in Koforidua, can get enough heroin to overdose.
Yes, actually, the police investigator who came with the remains, he said, you know what, it may be drugs. And I said, but where would a tourist, find drugs in a place she's not familiar with? He said, you know what, people who use drugs know where to find them.
Wonderful.
The thing is, police found no drug paraphernalia at the hotel and no trace of drugs in the room or in Charmaine's belongings.
So how did he end up in our body,
how she
in
could
our
have
system?
overdosed is a mystery.
Exactly.
Police never appear to investigate the source of the heroin that killed her or find out how it was administered. We're back at Ghana Police Headquarters to put our questions to the Director of Homicide. Why was Eric's failure to mention these other men in the room not interrogated? Why was Eric's alibi, his reasoning for leaving the hotel in the middle of the night, never tested?
Nice to meet you again. How's it going?
Hey, you don't mind if we just set our stuff up? Quickly, we need to get the mics and things, okay?
I don't know, but let's
have a chat
first.
Okay. Shortly after we arrive, we're told the interview isn't happening today.
Well, it's annoying. It certainly is. It certainly is.
We're asked to come back again the next morning to give them more time to go through the case file. From what we've found, it seems there are two likely scenarios here. Charmaine, a Scottish tourist in Ghana, has acquired heroin, killed herself and her unborn baby, having disposed of the evidence. Or someone else was involved in her death. So, just running through it all there, we just have loads and loads of questions about the things that Eric says about the movements at the hotel. Just so many things that they don't seem to add up on paper, but there might be a completely reasonable, consistent, explainable thing that the police know about that we don't, and they can, resolve these questions. There could be a scenario
the Ghanaian system is covering up a
as
lot.
A grieving husband who was arrested for murder after his wife killed herself. It could be as straightforward as that. For that to stand up, you have to believe that Charmaine acquired heroin, which we're told is not as easy to get as it would be in, say, Glasgow. She's been able to take it, kill herself after Eric's left, and hide everything while being naked. It's hard to believe. Exactly. It's a mystery, and we've got some of the pieces. Next morning, we're at breakfast prepping for the interview with the police. Then, I received a text message saying, "Good morning, Miles. I trust you and your team are doing well. A quick update for you. We couldn't get the documents to refresh my memory on the case, and as such, I'm unable to grant the interview." So, it's gone from, "You'll do the interview," to, "I don't have the documents, but I'll get across it before the interview today," and now they don't have the case file.
You see, the Ghanaian police, they declined the interview. They declined the interview that would have allowed them to investigate.
Questions remain about the police's handling of the investigation. We've since approached the Ghana Police Service
there's a lot
comment.
of foul play.
They did not respond to our questions. As we prepare to leave Ghana, the police's silence is also troubling Anas.
It would have done the police a lot of good if they spent time to explain how they arrived at certain circumstances. I'm not doubting that there are drugs in Koforidua, but for a person who is new to this country to get into Koforidua for a few days and be able to assess such levels of drugs is unheard of. The police must have access to these questions.
For an ass, the key piece of evidence we've uncovered is something the bishop said. Here, he's not Eric Adusa. He goes by another name, Eric Adubrafo.
I find that very suspicious. Reason is we are born with certain names, and those names appear on our birth certificates. We carry them onto our official documentation, which will be our passport. Sometimes people use two names and leave out one, but it cannot change drastically, like you have mentioned.
Pastor,
I ask myself, why does this person carry all these names? What is the motivation around it? And perhaps looking at the history of this person will tell you why those names.
The police were bought Shitu. It's obvious.
It was Eric Adusa who had been charged with Charmaine's murder. In October 2015, those charges were dropped.
Washiri.
Ghana's Attorney General's office told us it found no discrepancies between Eric's statements or omissions and the information recorded in the case. It said there was insufficient evidence to establish that Mr. Adusa had murdered his wife.
Wonderful.
When dropping the case, the prosecutor referenced a text message allegedly sent by Charmaine to Eric. Well, this time maybe I should end my nothing life and just die. Death is the only way out. This message, the prosecutor said, supported the idea she may have taken her own life. In the same text, Charmaine allegedly says to Eric, "Keep your memories of destroying our marriage. You've brought shame to me with what you've done. I can't go anywhere with such shame." Next time on Charmain and the Prophet, we run the case by a veteran detective.
So let's watch the last part.
We were just sitting there for about 5-10 minutes in just silence, and my dad told me that she was dead, and first thing I said was, "You're joking." It's like, "I'm not joking." And I just kept repeating, "You're joking."
This boy was 8 when his mother was
Father
five.
should have to tell his son his mum's dead.
It seemed so unreal, and it still feels like it really didn't happen.
I remember I just moved into a flat when I got the phone call. So I was kind of on my own, and yeah.
No, she can't be dead. What do you mean? She was in Ghana, Africa. Like, how? I don't understand how she's dead. It doesn't make any sense. Talk to me.
I think it was a Friday night, Eric. He phoned me up to say that she was in hospital, not well. It was before I found out that she'd died. And I asked him what hospital. He didn't know. I asked him what hotel she was staying in so that I was going to phone the hotel or the hospital to find out what had happened to her. He says, "I don't know." He says, "Can you give me £1,000 to go back? And can you come with me to persuade her to come back?" I says, "I'm not giving you £1,000. I says, you seemingly are rich. I says, "You go out there and bring my daughter back." I says, "She's got a son here to look after." Just lies after lies after lies, because he'd already been told to get back to Ghana because his wife had been found dead in a bathtub.
Eric's call to Linda happened after he'd been told of his wife's death. He said almost nothing about what happened since giving those statements to Ghanaian police. He's never explained why he didn't mention the men who told police they were in the room with him and Charmaine. Ghanaian police appear not to have traced one of those men or found the source of the heroin that killed Charmaine.
Brown envelope, they
Eric
talk.
was released without charge, and Charmaine's death remains unexplained.
Hi, Alan. Nice to meet you. I'm good.
I'm meeting retired Detective Superintendent Alan Jones. He's a veteran of countless murder investigations. He's agreed to look at the case and give us his thoughts, starting with Eric's statements to police.
He gives an account of his previous history with his wife, but very vague in areas of significance. You have the hotel attendant speaking at various times of various people going in and out. And for him not to mention that once is very strange. If you've got that many people coming to that room, potentially even as defence witnesses, you should be mentioning them.
It's not just Eric's statements that raise alarm bells for Alan. Ghanaian police documents suggest they failed to test Eric's alibi about heading to a 6 a.m. meeting with another pastor.
Modern police investigation in the UK, everybody that is mentioned through the course of a statement is traced. The person that he says he's going to meet at 6 o'clock is an important person to see to verify whether or not, this meeting is true. And if that's not happened, well, again, that's a poor reflection on the investigators of the time.
Ghanaian police also never spoke to Charmaine's friends and family. Eric's claims about her don't appear to have been interrogated.
Knowing who the potential victim is of critical importance, because in this instance, all we're getting is the opinion of a potential accused. Normally, what I see from it is him painting a picture of Charmaine being a very vulnerable and broken person, potentially suicidal, involved with drugs, creating that whole impression to the police that this is more about Charmaine and her mental fragility than it is about the suspicious circumstances she was found in. The true people that know about her are her family, her family and friends.
How would you describe Charmaine's state of mind?
I can only speak for when I knew Charmaine. But when I knew her, she was a very vibrant, energetic, enthusiastic, creative person. So, it doesn't fit at all.
Had Charmaine ever disclosed to you that she'd been a drug user?
No.
And do you know what her feeling was on drugs?
Very much against.
She's never been a drug user. Never been a drug user. She could see the devastation it caused. No, I would have known. No. Nope.
First of all, she hated drugs. Secondly, there is no way she would have any sort of drug in her system knowing she was pregnant. It is completely unlike her, totally out of character.
I mean, this is the thing. He was not part of her life, becomes her husband, and then becomes the expert in who she is. It's crazy.
I think that's what they are trying to do by using the investigative journalist.
When Charmaine's body was returned to the UK, an inquest was launched to determine how and why she died. It largely relied on the original Ghanaian police investigation, but there was to be a second, more detailed post-mortem.
The UK post-mortem reached the same conclusion as the one in Ghana, that Charmaine's likely cause of death was a heroin overdose. But this time, they tested Charmaine's hair, and it was negative for opioids, which means, at the point that she died, she was not a long-term drug user.
This finding was no surprise to her loved ones, but if Charmaine's family had hoped the inquest would shed new light on the circumstances of her death, they'd be disappointed. Its verdict was open conclusion.
In other words, there wasn't enough evidence to say whether Charmaine was killed or killed herself. Her death would remain a mystery.
I think that's what the family are trying to do.
In terms of the
They are trying to
theory that
revisit the case,
Charmaine
but we'll wait and see.
travelled to Ghana to then kill herself, you know, that can't be ruled out, can it?
Nothing can be ruled out, but it does seem unlikely. It's not something that makes any sense with myself. I wouldn't be happy with the case left as it was at the moment. All the areas that exist there that are unresolved, certainly if it was a cold case that was in the UK, it would be completely reinvestigated.
Exactly.
To the nth degree.
We approached the Ghana Police Service for comment. They did not respond to our questions.
A brown envelope don't exchange hand.
I'm on my way to London, where Eric founded his church, Global Light Revival. It's where Charmaine lived and preached beside him as First Lady.
Hey, good evening, how are you?
I'm here to meet a woman called Lynn.
Now brown envelope, don't reach hand.
Hello, how's it going? She wants to tell me about a man she met on a dating site around 2009.
I told him that I had a son, and my son's name was Daniel. And he turned around and said, "Oh, my name's Daniel too. Isn't that funny?" I went, "Oh yeah, that is, isn't it?" He seemed like a nice guy at first, quite charming.
What was the first date like? What did you do?
Not a lot really. He came to my place and he stayed for a few hours. And then that was it. And then he left, sort of thing. So
I got intimate quite quick.
Yeah, I got intimate very
quickly. They got intimate that very day.
Lynn says Daniel would appear close and then ignore her for weeks on end. At times, he'd claim his faith meant they could no longer have sex.
Then he would come down about a week later and he'd start kissing me and getting intimate. And I said, "Well, I thought you said you didn't want to do it anymore because you felt guilty." He said, "Well, I'm a weak man. I can't help it." He must have known I was vulnerable and then I was desperate to be loved. It was messing with my head and making me feel like I wasn't worth anything.
Lynn says this went on for nearly 2 years. Daniel would suggest they lived together, floated marriage,
for 2 years.
and then would disappear again.
It was shortly after that I received an email from somebody, a girl. She asked me how I knew this guy called Eric. And I said, "What do you mean, Eric?" And she said, "Yeah, if you go on YouTube, you'll find him on there." And there he was. It was him in his white suit, preaching and laying his hands on people.
What shitty.
He knew everything about me, so he knew my weaknesses. And I didn't even know that he was a pastor. And I just felt physically sick.
Lynn says the woman who messaged her said she was also in a relationship with Eric. And she knew others who were too. Eric, she said, was even engaged. The woman who contacted Lynn and another former partner told us they would later warn Charmaine about Eric too. Neither woman wanted to take part in this series. We've tracked down another former partner who did.
At first, everything was wonderful, and he was great. He was kind, sweet, and would worry about me.
Emily, not her real name, met Eric before he married Charmaine. Their relationship moved quickly, and she moved in with him after just a few months. Her words are spoken by an actor.
He gradually, very slowly, started to change. My hair needed to be styled in a certain way. I had to be dressed in a certain way. Everything had to be strictly how he said it had to be. I had to stay home. I couldn't go out. He also took my phone away because he didn't want me to call my family.
Emily says the real Eric was very different to the pious preacher he portrayed himself to be.
He always mentioned God. God wants this. God blesses our relationship. This is God's will. In reality, I was very vulnerable. And I wasn't realizing months were going by and he had brainwashed me. I was manipulated by the fact that it was God's will. Because I was afraid of going against God's will. He was never violent, but his power is another power. It is a mental form of power.
Faith was the catalyst for Emily's whirlwind romance. Faith, she says, is what was used to control her. Isaac says that same faith was used by Eric to control his mum.
When we were in Swansea, he was calm. He wasn't nasty, he wasn't thing. As soon as we moved to England, it was just a snap. Two completely different people. Every chance he got reminded her that he was more important than her. He was the one running everything. He was the one in charge of the church. Every aspect of her life was controlled by him. He controlled her phone, her money, her clothes, her eating habits. Her happiness was controlled by him. It wasn't a relationship. It was just him dictating her life.
Isaac says Eric was unpredictable and sometimes violent. He says that violence was at times directed at him.
He lost his shit one night, screaming. I could hear my mum screaming and crying. And he came into my room trying to hit me. And my mum stood between me and him, and he ended up punching her in the face. And my mum ended up spending the night with me. I remember her falling asleep while in my arms crying. Like, he called himself a prophet. What prophet would hit their wife? What prophet would lay a finger on a child? I don't think any prophet would do something like that. The way he talked to my mum, the way he treated her, he wasn't a bloody prophet. He was an evil human being. He didn't deserve a fraction of the praise he got in that church.
Isaac says his memories of his mum are tainted by their time living with Eric. A few months into the marriage, Anne-Marie visited Charmaine. It was the first time she'd seen her friend since she left Wales.
So I remember her telling me that everyone in the church was not allowed to speak to her about a different woman previous that was in the church not so long before Charmaine. So obviously Charmaine, she knows when something's up, like, you know. She said basically he doesn't show me any love. There's no love. There's no passion, was her words. She just said it was dirty sex.
Then Charmaine began to reveal more.
She sat me down and she told me, I got to tell you something. I found out loads of stuff about him. He's got all different IDs and different identities. He is not who he says he is. And everything, all her money, everything was in with him.
So she was outlining that he was in control of everything.
He was in control of everything, yeah. I said to her, you know, you can just leave him. You can just come back. It's okay, you know. You can just come back. Even though she knew about all of these identities and everything, she still had that little bit of faith in her, that little belief in her, that this was possibly the man that she's supposed to be with because of God. All because of God.
Just a few weeks after Anne-Marie's visit, Charmaine travelled to Ghana. She flew out alone. Eric joined her a week later. She went there, leaving Isaac behind.
She told me, one day woke into school, said she was going to be gone for a week or two, or 2 or 3 weeks. It was like ill the entire time my mum was gone. Like, I felt really crappy, like just wanted to see my mum, like.
Isaac turned 8 when Charmaine was in Ghana. It was the only birthday she'd ever missed. As Isaac wondered when his mother would return, family and friends were struggling to reach Charmaine. They began to worry about what was going on over there.
I'm worried sick. And I put on Facebook, has anyone heard from Charmaine since she's over in Ghana? My daughter always kept contact with me. I'm just not hearing anything.
It seems Charmaine was in regular contact with one person in her final days, a woman from Eric's church who gave a statement to UK police. A statement the Ghanaian authorities have never seen.
And what's really interesting about this is it gives details about Charmaine and Eric's relationship during this time in Ghana. Apparently through several calls that this woman and Charmaine had.
This witness told police Eric had taken Charmaine's phone, but she'd managed to get another without him knowing.
It's mainly about how the fact they're not spending any time together, how Charmaine and Eric are arguing a lot. And then there's this line here, that the arguments had been about his conduct towards her.
This woman says Charmaine discovered Eric went by another name, that he lied about his age, and he had another wife in Ghana. Charmaine, this witness says, was considering divorce and planned to confront Eric.
Then she says she got a call late one evening, and when she answered, she could hear the couple in the background. And according to this witness statement, she says she could hear Eric saying things like, "You've shamed me," and each time Eric spoke, I could hear the bang of a table as though he was hitting it with his hand. And then the call ends.
This was the day before Charmaine was last seen alive. We might never truly know how Charmaine died. What we do know is Eric Adusa, the prophet, was cleared of any involvement in her death. So where is he now? After his wife's death, Eric continued as head pastor of Global Light Revival. Less than a year later, he was back on TV promoting his ever-growing church.
Be fruitful.
In 2017, it got even bigger.
Chicago Holy Spirit Conference, in Jesus' name. Come and be blessed. Admission is free. Your host, Prophet Eric Isaiah.
Eric has moved his ministry to America.
Africa right now.
It's a country with a long history of firebrand, charismatic preaching.
Coming here in the name of Jesus.
And Eric appears to have found himself at home.
You talk about physical ammunitions. We have the backing of heaven. And tonight, if there is anything the enemy has done, vengeance is coming from heaven on your behalf. I said vengeance is coming from heaven on your behalf. If people use this gun, we will use the power of God. And anything that is meant to come your way, it must die.
He's based here in Maryland, just a short drive from Washington, D.C.
From what we've seen so far, it's a nice part of the world to put. It's really big houses. It's very rural, a lot of farming businesses. But the houses are lovely. It's very different to Ghana and very different to London.
Eric regularly travels across America and the world, spreading the word of God from Tennessee to Dublin.
One of the things that are very dangerous in ministry is marriage. A ministry can die because of one woman. A ministry can strike because of one woman. Wherever the woman of God is, I want you to clap your hands and celebrate her.
He's married again and has also changed his name. He's now Eric Isaiah Kusi Boateng.
in the name of Jesus Christ.
Eric initially agreed to an interview, but with conditions, before then going silent. He hasn't responded to our questions, so now we're here to try and speak to him in person.
Hello. Hi, I'm looking to speak to Eric Adusa.
We're met at the door by Eric's wife.
I could hear him there. He's inside.
She confirms he's there, but says he won't come to the door.
So why does he want to come out and speak to us? Because we've been in communication. He said he would do an interview, and he's stopped answering.
As Eric stays behind the door, his wife asks us to leave.
Okay, I'll leave. Okay, thank you. You can hear him in the background. So, it's quite clear he doesn't want to answer my questions. But he was there, I could hear him. So that's it.
Eric has said almost nothing about Charmaine's death since those first police statements.
How was that? No deal.
He's never answered questions about what he said happened, and he's never answered questions about the other women from his past.
Okay, let's get out of here.
When we tried to get answers, he refused to come out. He had his wife come to the door.
There's a lot of folk up here that I know.
Is it a family plot, this, Linda?
Well, that's my dad. There's only room for 3. So my mum gave up her place for Charmaine so she could be with her brother and her granddad. Charmaine Spears, beloved mother of Isaac, greatly missed, never forgotten, always in our hearts. And her dad, he once buried here when he passes, so that they can hold hands and have a blether. And it just breaks my heart to know that I've got 2 kids down there that I can't see anymore. And I'll speak to, I'll give them a cuddle. They shouldn't be here, the 2 of them.
I'll take this, so you
take that up.
Yeah. You've got other flowers here as well, eh?
Mm-hmm. She just shouldn't be here. She should be enjoying life looking after her son. She would be proud of him.
I have to live the rest of my life knowing that my mum is never... my mum is never gonna see what I do in my life. Really gets to me. Like...
It's been 10 years since Charmaine died. How much do you still miss her?
Oh, massively.
People die. Do you know, I'm a nurse. I've nursed people that have died, but it's nothing like when somebody gets ripped away so dramatically. It's not.
I lost Charmaine before she died. So, yeah. I finally started going through my old photographs in the last couple of weeks. It just reminded me of how fun and rich of friendship life was when, Charmaine was part of my life. Like, she was that spark. She was the spark.
I think for me that there was a life that wasn't lived fully, and when it did end, it wasn't there were not enough questions asked. Yeah.
Just never been able to grieve properly for her.
Because there's all these questions that
Well, there's
are
all these
unanswered.
questions and no answers. The only person that can answer it is not here. And that's Charmaine.
Well, there is someone else who has maybe some answers that we need
Yeah.
to hear.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You see how pastor just lie. Wake up. You see how pastor just lie. You see the whole lie. You see the whole oríṣiríṣi wey he put. Sorry, hold on. Yeah?
We are sleeping on live chat. Can you end the show?
Thank you, Jerry. It's finished.